Hey mages, welcome to today's video, and today I've got some gameplay of this Smugglers Gruul deck that I've put together, and it's from the early access event where content creators got to play some of these new cards early so we can showcase some of the decks for you and some of the brews that we've all been doing. So yeah, be sure to check everyone out and get a load of some of this gameplay before we can all actually get on there. Now, oh my god, what a dream this would be, eh? 421,000 coins and 457,000 gems. Oh my god, I wish that was really my account. But for those of you thinking, this is not. This is a borrowed account. So this deck is mainly building around Smugglers Surprise, which lets you put 2 creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Now, interesting in the gameplay, spoiler, you don't need this to win. You really don't need this to win, because when you've got some of these new cards, like Overlord of the Boilerbilges, deals 4 damage to any target when it enters. You can impend it, so you can put it in, and it will do that 4 damage when it comes in, and like time counters down. You've got Overlord of the Hauntwoods. These Overlords are some really cool cards. This one creates a tap colorless land token everywhere that is a basic land type as well, and it's a massive 6/5. Trample, yes, would have been great for that. So you put these in with a card like Terror of the Peaks. When this comes in, we know what this card does. It does damage equal to the creature's power when it enters the battlefield, and that is massive. But also the combo. Now this is a really high costing combo, but when you've got your Terror on the field and you're playing a card like Calamity Galloping Inferno, this, when it's saddled, will create attacking tokens of it. And when you're doing tokens of Overlord, these are coming in, doing 4 damage every time they enter, and Terror of the Peaks is doing additional damage as well. You'll see from the gameplay, it is absolutely chef's kiss when this goes off, and it's brilliant. I'm also chucking in there Balustrade Worm, can't be countered. Big Beta 5/5 Trample has haste as well, and has a Delirium ability. But these are, so if you love Gruul big monsters, these is definitely going to be the deck for you to build when it drops. Enduring Courage adds a little bit of haste and stuff and gives them a bit of a bump as well. This will also, when dies, goes back to being enchantment. So, you know, I do like that when some of these creatures, the new creatures die, they go, you know, they don't just leave off the battlefield, they will go as an enchantment as well. We've got a little bit of removal, just a touch in Brother's End to sweep up the early play, which interestingly Zealot will keep away from that because the toughness is 4, so this will help us ramp up like this against the aggro decks. The toughness is really good, which is why I've chosen to put the Zealot in, and obviously it's a new card as well. The other ramp we have is Glimpse the Core, searching for the basic forest and putting that into the battlefield as well. Land base. New land, we've got Verge in here, activate only if you control a mountain or forest. Well, we've got, Commercial District, which is a mountain and forest as well, 4 lives, and some basics as well. Cavern of Souls, because you come across any kind of control decks, you don't really want your terrors, or, you know, we've got multiples in here, so we can name Dragon, and then we can name Avatars or Horrors, whichever you want to name for these. And that is the idea of the deck. Getting in some big stuff, and sometimes you just need to attack and you don't even need that damage to get through. The Terror of the Peaks damage and the Overlord damage will get the game done. But without further ado, we're going to get onto some gameplay now. I've got a few games for you here. Hope you enjoy it. If you do, give it a big thumbs up. Tell me which cards or decks you want me to build. I will be doing lots of budget content soon as well, so don't worry about that, all my budget friends. We will be doing that and getting plenty of decks out there with 0 rares and little as 5 rares, so I will be brewing that. If you do enjoy the content and you want to go a bit further, check out my Patreon, and if you want to get any of these cards in paper when they all come out, check out my sponsors Cardmarket. But let's get on to the gameplay. So here we go for the first game, and against one of my favourite creators, Yellow Hat. Not a bad opening hand here. We've got a couple of Smugglers Surprise in there, and we also have our Zealot as well. That was a cracking draw. Terror of the Peaks. So we get our Ram card down, we get our Zealot down. Nice stats on this, 0/4. I do like this card. It's going to be good against aggro. So it looks like we're playing a Azorius, potentially enchantment deck. Now, we do need lands, so definitely thinking about, I've got 3 surprises in hand, so I'm going to play this in my main phase just because obviously those colours, we know there could be some kind of control magic going on there. And we get a land, and we get an Overlord. One of the great new cards from Duskmourn, and dare I say, as a blue mage, definitely one of my most favourite cards already in the set. But still plenty of cards to play with. So definitely players are trying out the enchantment rooms in the Access event they were. Some of them seem really good. You'll see a really good match if you pop over to League and V's channel. I feature in the first match against his room deck. So Terror Peaks down. That is what we really want. With big creatures coming in. We got our combo. We got Calamity there. We do have our Horror as well. Our Overlord. So if we saddle with that, we can potentially get in a lot of damage, which is what the plan is. And with Terror Peaks on there, you're just going to be doing so much damage. But our opponent is definitely flooding the board here. Enchantments could be some kind of maybe aura deck as well. Those lifelinks could get pretty big and could cause a problem if the opponent does gain a lot of life. But we've not got a bad hand. Now obviously with the deck you can cheat the creatures into play. With the Smugglers it costs 6 mana to do that. Which we could well do. Gonna name Horror there. But I'm actually just gonna go in with the Overlord. Because I was worried there about, you know, some kind of counter spell. But actually making the creature uncountable sounds a lot easier than actually playing like a Smugglers Surprise. Now, Calamity does have haste coming in as well. So we are building up for a massive swing. Opponent down to 15. Four lands there. Possibly stuck on land a little bit. So this seems nice. Nice. Niece? It's not your niece. Seems nice. Ethereal Armor, there it is. Now that's going to build that up to a massive hit, and it has first strike and lifelink, so we're definitely not going to be able to block here. We're going to go down to 14, but I'm feeling like even that is not going to be enough to save our opponent. With Calamity coming in, and then we will get to trigger. Opponent now is tapped out, which is what we like when we're playing against a blue deck. So we're going to be free to play the Calamity. Saddle up with our enchantment creature. With our Horror, Calamity comes in. Bit of damage there, straight to the dome. We will be saddling now. Attack in, lots of damage going to opponent. Boom, boom, boom. We don't even need to block. It's GG's. What a first game that was. That was a really good win. On to our second game, and what was in this? There was World Championship competitors here, which is what one of these players are. If it was Magic WC, they're testing for Worlds. So they're testing against our deck here. Let's see what they play. We've got 3 lands in hand. We also have our Call Enchantment, a couple of Zealots as well, so, you know, potentially ramping out, which is nice. There's those blue cards drawn. Another land, but we can go turn 2 Zealot here, which I feel is a good addition for ramp decks, just because of the 4 toughness. So Oblivion Bookworm comes in. Beginning against it may draw a card, then you have to discard a card. Another permanent enter the battle face down. Okay, so testing out a different brew here. We draw yet another land. So we could... That is a good top draw there, but I think we're probably better off just going for another Zealot, because next turn we are ability to play one of our creatures for 6, which is nice. Verge is one of the new lands as well. Opponent flashing in this gets to Dread, Manifest Dread, which is nice. I think that a lot of players might be playing Manifest type decks just because, you know, you can amass a board, but the two toughness on that makes it good for decks with, like, if we went Brothers War, stuff like that. In this deck, we're just literally going to wipe the field, and our Zealot will stay out of that. We're going to go Terror of the Peaks down because we have big creatures coming in. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. Threats around every corner. So enters, Manifest Dread. Control such a library for a basic land card. Opponent is ramping up with us. Doing well. Another Zealot's not a great draw, but we're going to go in with our Overlord. Damage over there. Damage over there. It's just so much damage. Then we're going to fly over the top with the Terror. Opponent down to 6. We've got big creatures on the board and a big creature to come in as well. So potentially game-winning hand. A few face-down cards over there. But we have the Flying Evasion, which is nice. And we have our Overlords. So lots of mana over there. 3 cards in hand. We top draw an uncounterable creature, which is great in case opponent did have some counter magic there. This is going to come in and do 5 damage with the Terror. Opponent down to 1. We then attack in. 4 damage with the attack. Overlord of the Boilerbilges is just absolutely brilliant. GG's, another great showcase of the deck. So on to our third game. We are playing a human token. Okay, so 3 lands. We've got the Brother's End, which is nice as well. We have Enduring, gives creatures haste, and we have a couple of Glimpse the Cause as well. Leyline comes straight in. Assassins. And Iridescent. That is a bit of a combo piece with some cards. But we do have Brother's End in hand. Iridescent starts to damage off. Oh, Deep Cavern Bats. Don't really want to be seeing that. Probably Brother's End. No, not Brother's End, which tells me opponent has another Deep Cavern Bat. Or more hand disruption, because you would definitely take Brother's End unless you did. So I'm expecting either another Deep Cavern Bat or something along those lines. Leyline of Transformation. Oh, Mockingbird coming in, copying the Cavern Bat. That is nice. Brother's End definitely goes this time. That was nice. I appreciate that one. We can do a little block there. The 0/4 stats is nice. Calamity. Okay. So probably go Glimpse. Got some of those gorgeous forests to go and get. So ramping out. We can play Calamity next turn, but not a lot else in hand. Fable Passage. We're going to need some handy draws if we can. Okay, Silent comes in. And all the while that's gaining a bit of life. Zealot is not really what we want to pull. Get that last basic. Attacking with Calamity. We can't even saddle with it either, which is very annoying because we've got a 0/4. Down to 13 life here with just a Zealot in hand. This isn't going well, this one. We can... That can't be blocked, but we can block the Iridescent. Down to 10. Trigger on the Silent Hall Creeper. Draws a card. We're definitely going to need a good draw to get out of this. Opponent's on 3 lands, which isn't maybe holding back opponent if they don't draw. Or Ninjutsu Kato in. Like it. Like it. I'm interested to see how good Kato is. Obviously that was a draw there because they would have ninjutsu in that when it wasn't blocked.
I've got you beat 6 different ways.
So if we can top draw... That's not a bad draw. Because it's a big 6/5. It can crew with Calamity. So we crew Calamity, we'll make copies. Definitely attack in there. Attack into opponent. One of the copies can go over at Kato. And then at the opponent. Has to be. Make some colours. Well, that's a big hit. Down to 11. Opponent's got 3 1/1s on there. We will just play another Zealot. Because why not? They go. But the next attack is going to look pretty tasty. Okay. Arter comes in. Back up to 13 life. We're down to 7. Gets to cloak. Oh, more blockers. Oh, Terror the Peaks from the top. That's just GG's. That is absolutely brilliant. We can actually copy with the Terror. Get this into play. Attack in. Multiples coming in. Of course, we're just going to do 5 damage over there. 5 damage over there. And 5 damage over there. GG's. We got out of that one. Oh, that was just an absolutely brilliant match. Let's get on to the final game. Hamooge MTG. Hamooji. Brother's End, Terror Peaks. Not a terrible hand, because you can obviously impend some of the creatures. We've got one of our uncountables as well. Nothing early, though. Cavernous Souls. But nothing coming down, depending just having Brother's End on there. But if we could maybe draw Glimpse or draw a Zealot. There's another land, okay. So we're really hoping for low mana costing creatures. If it's anything speedy, we might be a bit too slow. Twitching Doll. Second, 2 land draws on the top. That's definitely not going to help. Another 3rd land on the top there. So that would have been 3 land draws. Got one of our Overlords. Impending Overlord over there. I mean, Brother's End we could do, but I don't think it's value. Just get rid of it. Maybe we should have, but... Oh, that's a nice coming down to a turn early. We draw another land. Yeah, this is not going great for us, this one. We can obviously play this impending. Kill the Dole. It's impending 4 there, so you've got to wait for the 4 counters to come off. The opponent's going to be head over there when the 6/5 comes in as well. And there's already a big 5/5 on there, so this could be a quick game, this one. I don't think we could probably recover. We can get Terror to Peaks in next turn. But then we don't really want to be using it as a blocker. But now a 6/6 in there as well. So, yeah, this is this one's going to be done. I think Hamooji's got us here. Another Overlord. Put in Terror. Another impending comes off. I mean, we're going to have to block here if it survives. But even then, we're down to 9. Oh, unidentified comes in, so that's our Terror gone. Yep. GG's, Hamooji. We are not getting back from this one. Okay, swinging in. 411. Down to 4. Not a lot we can do now. No, we did get very flooded here, but yeah, we weren't coming back from this one. GG's. Nice deck, nicely played. And got to see a lot of new cards in this one as well, which is what I like. Minus 15. Ouch. So there was some gameplay for you with this really cool Smugglers Gruul deck. I really do like these new Overlord creatures. I think they're very powerful, and if you can saddle them, even better you're going to get that, especially with the red Overlord as well. That just to me seems really, really cool. The rest of the deck possibly needs some bigger removal if we do. That's my one thing about it. We might need it. As you can see, I could have once used Smugglers Surprise to cheat some in, but you don't need it to win the actual games, which is really cool. You can ramp into your creatures and you have that, but Smugglers there in case, you know, you want to just do that and you tap out for maybe putting one other in or, you know, doing it different ways. So it just depends what type of match you're in. If you're playing against control decks, seeing what mana they have up and stuff like that. But the deck can just stomp its way through and can win on attacks without even doing the damage with the right combination of those creatures, which I think is, you know, really cool of this deck. And yeah, for me, this one that I will hopefully potentially craft. Now, there's a fair few mythics in here and stuff like that, so maybe not one that I play, which is why I was lucky to get this gameplay recorded with the free account. So yeah, thanks for Wizards for that. I really do appreciate that. If you enjoyed it and you want to see some, you know, tell me what decks you want built around from the new set, budget decks, everything like that, just comment down below. Liking the video really does help. And thanks if you're still here at the end. I really do appreciate it. But anyway, you lot take care, and I'll see you on the next video.